Appreciate it. What's up, tall people? Y'all got to tell I'm in a great mood tonight. I am celebrating. Finally found a store that sells clothes my size. Y'all probably heard of this called Build-A-Bear. Outfit came with a birth certificate. If y'all can't tell by looking at me, man, everybody in my family is short. I actually had an uncle that passed that was shorter than me. He was so short that when they cremated him, it really wasn't that many ashes. So instead of a vase, they put his ashes in a nickel bag for us. And it was messed up because later on the police pulled me over and found my uncle in my pocket. So they confiscated my uncle, now they hold him as evidence. My uncle dead and he's still in jail. If y'all can't tell from that story, I come from a ghetto family. Some of y'all might come from ghetto families too, that's how you can tell. You ever spent the night at one of your family members' house before? And they gave you a pillow to sleep on, but it really wasn't a pillow? It'd be a pillowcase with a whole bunch of clothes up in it. Little kids wake you up, I need my church socks out your pillow. My family is also dysfunctional. Still dysfunctional after all of these years. Like my uncle and my daddy are both over 60 and just moved back into my grandmother's house. That same week, my grandma kicked my granddaddy out because he won't stop running the streets. So now my granddaddy, who was 80 years old, is still using old school tricks trying to get back into the house. 2 o'clock in the morning outside beating on my grandma's door. I just want to see my kids. My uncle woke up and started crying. I want my daddy. My family is also super cheap. What I mean by super cheap is I found at an early age we did not celebrate the tooth fairy. Like one time I put a tooth under my pillow. So I heard the tooth fairy was supposed to give you $1. When I woke up the next morning, my tooth was back in my mouth. By the time I got to high school, I had 64 teeth. The holidays was the worst, especially Halloween, because my mother couldn't afford real costumes. She used to make them herself. Like one year she dressed me up in all black, then threw some glitter on my clothes. I'm like, what am I supposed to be? She was like, space? So now I'm telling everybody I'm a little dipper. I love my family, man. I love my daddy. My daddy thought he was a player. The thing is, my daddy was the worst player ever. He used to always do stupid stuff to get himself caught. Like one time, me and my mother was watching Family Feud, and he was actually on there with another family. Like, you ain't even trying, Dad. I also love my cousin, but she just made me realize the tattoo's not for everybody. And she's got a tattoo on her stomach of her favorite car, but her stomach covered in stretch marks. Talking about some cuz had this look. It looked like somebody that keyed up your car. And they bust out the windows. And her stomach kind of big, so the car actually looks real. And one day she was walking across the street with her stomach out, and one of those camera lights took her picture and sent her a ticket in the mail. This is when I first found out my family was dysfunctional. When I was 7 years old, my grandmother had a baby, which means I now had a baby uncle. And I think I was his favorite nephew because he always wanted to play with me. And I'll never forget when I turned 9 years old, I kept falling asleep in class. My teacher got concerned and she was like, why can't you stay awake? I was like, well, last night I spent the night over my grandmother's house, and during the middle of the night, my uncle snuck in my room and kept trying to play with me. They sent the police to my grandmother's house to arrest my baby uncle. Childhood was crazy. I grew up in a crazy neighborhood. Neighborhood I lived in is still crazy. I know it's crazy because the other day I was almost a part of the craziest robbery ever. The other day a dude tried to rob me with one arm. He had an artificial arm with a real gun at the end of it. Which means I had to disarm him twice. And just to teach him a lesson, I refused to give him his artificial limb back, so he ended up being the victim of an armed robbery. Another time I got into it with a dude with an artificial foot. Let's just say he was easily defeated. Don't get it twisted, I am not tough, I am not a thug. I think I was actually the first person to get kicked out of a game for being too nice. They told me to bring a gun to a drive-by and I didn't want nobody to get hurt. So I actually showed up with a stun gun. And it was the worst drive-by ever. They shot the dude, he fell down to the ground and died. I got the cop with my stun gun, he came back to life. Everybody else was in jail, they celebrated me as a hero. That's the only time I ever got along with the police. Tell the truth, I don't really have anything against the police, but I cannot stand 911 operators. They never take me serious. I called them one time like, hello 911, this is an emergency, I need your help right now. They were like, sir, what's the matter? I'm like, I've been kidnapped and I'm being held against my will. They were like, sir, do you know where you are? I'm like, yeah, I'm in jail. Use my one phone call to call y'all. Please send your top hostage negotiator. But the police do always pick on me, man. Like last year, y'all, I literally got pulled over for like 12 months in a row. And every time I got pulled over, the police gave me a written citation, which means I am officially a season ticket holder. But if you are a person that's out here driving around illegally, let people know that before they get in the car with you. My boy got put over for the illegal tint that was on his windows. This dude driving, I'm in the passenger seat. He gonna turn to me like, Swiss, he see me real fast, my license suspended. I'm like, so I can go to jail, my license suspended too. When the police officer came to the window, we was both in the back seats with our seatbelts on. Like, is there a problem, officer? And I don't know about y'all, man, but I'm trying to figure out ways to outsmart the police. Like, I just ordered some personalized license plates for my car. They told me they got 7 letters, so I tried to get creative. I said I want a capital C, followed by ALT, then DEL, which is short for Control Alternate Delete. And the reason I want that is in case the police haven't trying to run my plates, I want their computer to shut down. Best license plates ever. A little more about myself, I like to watch a lot of television. I've seen this one commercial about everybody should get coverage against identity theft. I'm never getting that. My identity got stolen a long time ago. Me and my daddy got the same name. He switched identities with me when I was a baby. Which is messed up because I got my first job. The government started garnishing my check for child support that I own myself. So now I gotta get a DNA test to prove I'm my own son. But I never do my kids like that, man. I'm actually looking for a good woman so I can get into a relationship, but it's hard right now, trying to find somebody good. Because everybody playing games. Like the last time I went to the club, a girl asked me for my phone number. I gave it to her because I thought she liked me. Turns out she was just too lazy to make up her own fake phone number, so she in the club giving dudes mine. 2 weeks later, I'm still getting text messages. And speaking of text messages, have you ever poured your heart out to somebody in a text message just to get embarrassed? Look, I was thinking about what you said, and I care about you too. You mean so much to me, you're the only person I want to be with. And they respond back, who is this? You're like, never mind. I hope y'all enjoyed me, man. I had a lot of fun with y'all. I'm comedian Marc Henderson. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Let them hear it.